Ding, ding, ding. We are back at it again in full effect, everybody. This is Troy Vaughn, also known as Trey Amazing, your favorite part-time stripper, part-time megachurch pastor, but full-time dating commentator. And this is Ringside's very own Corner Confessions. I'm here with the intrepid Kristen Williams. And I know this is our second take. I kind of butchered her title and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her the opportunity to let everybody out there know who she is and what she does. So Kristen, take it away. Let me know what it is and, just break down your title and why we're here.
Well, my name is Kristen Williams. I'm the owner of Eyelash For Me Too. I had make and design my own line of lashes, which is featured in 7 magazines. I'm also a radio host for Hits 92.3 ATL, where I interview business owners on Wednesdays and Thursdays to help them push their brand to a larger audience.
All right. And so far I see that, based on your Facebook, you're picking up a lot of momentum.
Yes.
I see the promotions and I see you're getting some views and some hits. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
So let's get down to the nit and gritty and why we're here. You and I have kicked back a couple of ideas. We've been picking each other's brains as far as, what to talk about. That people that come to my channel, we are focused on, issues related to singlehood, dating, marriage, divorce, sex, kink, and fetish. So you brought up a great and very interesting idea as far as, being an entrepreneur and dating, particularly, if you were involved or married to another entrepreneur and issues that can pervade an otherwise healthy relationship when two people are trying to grow businesses, start empires, and really, come into their own as entrepreneurs. And so as an entrepreneur, from your own either experiences or even experiences that you've seen with friends, colleagues, others, I know you got stories. I know you've seen some things like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. When we talk about being an entrepreneur, which is really big here in Atlanta. Atlanta attracts a lot of people who are entrepreneurs, especially African American entrepreneurs. So when we talk about a couple, whether they be dating or engaged or married, when you have a couple, both are entrepreneurs, what do you see are some of the issues and pitfalls that couples experience when they're both trying to grow their individual empires?
Competition.
Competition
Starts to happen in a relationship. Jealousy starts to happen in a relationship. And then it falls apart. And you guys are like both best friends and everything's going good until an idea is birthed. And then when one person idea takes off more than the other person, it starts to weigh in on the relationship because then those feelings start to change.
So it gets to the point where everything else could be in alignment with the relationship or marriage, but one person, may feel, like you said, emotions like jealousy. Then why is their business taking off and mine is still, flat on the ground?
Exactly.
Why are they getting more attention? Why are they getting more hits, more views, more phone calls?
Yes. And
I'm over here, just barely hanging on. So those issues pervade, the love and friendship of a relationship. So the instance that you witnessed this, you witnessed this with other people, what are some of the things that people try to do to pivot, when these issues come up? Like, what do they do? How can they address them? Because again, if you're a couple and both of you have dreams, goals, and aspirations of being, your own boss and being an entrepreneur, how do you address those feelings? Because again, like you talked about, it can be competition. How would a couple, from your experience or from what, your observations, how would a couple address these issues?
They have to have communication. That's the first thing is, hey, look, I want to step out and be an entrepreneur. This is what I want to do. I need your support as I'm going to support you in whatever it is that you want to do. Now, communication is always important in a relationship because it keeps everything together. It's open communication. The problem falls in line when you stop talking to each other or you stop communicating. So like, for instance, I just had a photo shoot a few weeks ago, actually, And my friend that I know is a photographer and slash singer. And her boyfriend, long term together for 7 years, he is a rapper. And then he saw all the attention she was getting as a photographer. So then he started picking up photography. And then it started causing problems in the relationship because now he's trying to get booked and he's not including her. She's getting booked and she's not including him. And then her's picking up more than him because she knows more. So now they're arguing about customers. They're arguing about the business, partnership. And it causes problems and now they're no longer together. And that's a relationship that was, from my understanding, was really great before the business happened. And it happens, and it's no different. Like, I have my line of lashes, and then what if my husband stole his line of lashes, right? Just say it, and then he start to take off. I'm gonna be looking like, oh, are you not telling people about me? Or, and then we have a problem inside our home, and that's really what's going on. Is what I'm seeing is that Atlanta is full of entrepreneurs. Everybody have a business. It's a side business, side hustle. Everybody, we're looking to be rich. We want to be famous too. We want to get everybody. Atlanta is a melting pot for people that want to do great things. But you have to find a partner that wants to do great things with you and don't feel like y'all competing against each other. It should be more like, what I told my friends, it should be more like if y'all went in together. We can do the photography pictures together. We can come and, book your shows together, especially if you're doing the same thing. If one person say, hey, I want to do the same thing you're doing, why can't we do it together? But then when you start doing it separately, it starts to tear in a relationship because then it is a competition. Because now y'all not talking about the things you used to talk about. Now you're talking about who's winning over who.
Now it becomes more business.
It becomes more business, and now you're having more business conversations. And now it has taken off. It's taken over the relationship.
And so, what you described, I have no doubt, has happened, hundreds and hundreds of times to a lot of relationships across, this city. It happens, quite a lot because Atlanta can be very unique. Atlanta is a very busy city.
Very
it has a certain DNA, and whatever that DNA, whatever that composite is, it attracts many, many innovative, intellectual, and just thriving African Americans who want to come here and do something other than a 9 to 5.
Right.
So what happens when these African Americans, they get together, they couple up and begin dating, but as we talked about, what happens when they become individual businesses and entrepreneurs. One person goes one way, another one goes the other way, and you start looking back with jealousy or with envy. Or just, sometimes it can breed insecurity. Yeah. Which we all know that can, corrode a relationship or marriage, quicker than anything. And so it becomes very, this story, the story you just described is a lot of things, but it's not old. It's nothing new. It's nothing new.
Right.
Happens a lot.
Yes.
So, again, I think attracting many people many men and women who are entrepreneurs, that is just one of the things that makes Atlanta dating unique. But from your point of view, from what you've seen, other observations, you have friends who are out here trying to find what you have. You're a happily married woman, with a family, but I have no doubt you have friends and colleagues who want the same things, but they're out here grinding. They're out here trying to find that certain someone. But the story is, the rumor is, Atlanta can be unique as far as finding someone and how to date. For someone, particularly the subscribers out there who are interested in moving to Atlanta, who are thinking about packing their bags and moving from LA or Miami or Dallas, Chicago, DC, wherever they're from, and saying, look, you know what, I want to move to Atlanta. There's opportunities there, but opportunities in addition to business, but to find someone. What are some things that you would first tell someone before getting here, what they need to be on the lookout for in terms of Atlanta dating?
I would say on the terms of what you should be looking for is someone that will be very understanding. Being an entrepreneur is a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication. It's almost like trying to build a brand, trying to build a business. So long as you can find somebody that's on the same level and that's business minded like you, that want to do things with themselves as well, then it'll be easy to find somebody. For instance, like me and my husband, when I met him, he was in the military. I was working at Family Dollar, and then I had a dream that I wanted to start doing my own business of starting my lash line. So like I came to him and I was like, look, this is what I want to do, back me up, support me. Do you think we could do this together? Mm-hmm. And we did. And then he started his business, his trucking business, and then I supported him. So long as you can find someone that can support you with a good support system, I think you can find love. You can find that doing entrepreneurship, doing what you want to do, being a business owner. Mm-hmm. But if you don't find somebody that's just wanting to not do nothing, it's going to be very hard, because then that's when that role plays again of jealousy in a relationship. And, or them feeling like they want to be a part of what you got going on and pushing themselves in it. So I think the thing is, when you come to Atlanta and you want to start a business and you're looking for love, I think you need to find somebody that's on the same level as that.
Okay. So, finding that, as the church say, equally yoked.
Exactly is what I'm trying to say, equally yoked. Somebody that wants to go places too, and that's like, what, I respect that. I can help you and you help me, that partnership.
Well, yeah, because it already seems unequal in and of itself. If you're coming to Atlanta and you have the mindset of an entrepreneur, a hustler, a mover, a shaker, whatever the case may be, it's going to be hard to thrive in a relationship with someone who is stagnant, who is okay with status quo, or just wants to work a 9 to 5 and that's it. It's going to be difficult to be around that person, because the energies will be mismatched. One person wants to do greater than a 9 to 5, wants to build, wants to, own.
Yeah.
Whereas the other person just simply wants to just, do the status quo.
Yeah.
Just wants to go check in, check out, fight traffic, come back, repeat, and start
exactly.
again.
And I have a friend like that. I actually have a friend that actually came here from, I think it was from North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. She must stop. She'll call me later about that. But she came down here to pursue her dreams of selling fedora hats. And she met a guy who she thought, was somebody she could love and be with, but this guy, he just don't want to do. He just like he's okay with what, like you just said, coming home, playing the video games, chilling, in a garage or hanging out. And she's like, come on, like, we could go to this business venture, or we could go here, we could go to this networking event, let's see what kind of brands we could build together or whatever. And he's like, I don't want to do that, that's for lame people, or it's just a waste of time. And so now she was doubting herself, like, am I wasting my time? Mm-hmm. Is it me? And I'm like, no, like, you just need to get rid of that person. That person's stuck in the bottom. You trying to get out, and you trying to build yourself. So like I said, I think it needs to be the equality, someone that's doing exactly the same thing you're doing, or have at least dreams or ambition, that want to go places, goals.
I think that's the word for the day, is ambition.
Yeah.
Because some people, their level of ambition will differ. Because again, some people's ambition may just be, look, I just want to go find somebody to work for. Yeah. Retire after 30 years and that's it. And that's cool. You can't knock people for that. But if your ambition is polar opposite, or it takes you in a completely different direction, then it's up to you to decide whether or not, you two complement one another or conflict. Because again, sooner or later it's going to affect a relationship. Mm-hmm. One day down the road it's going to come up. And I think, that's an excellent point. It's something that a lot of people need to think about. If, your ambition is to be a titan of industry and entrepreneur, and, if you want to do something other than just be an employee and work for someone, all these are issues and concerns that people need to think about.
Yeah.
So, again, check it. A lot of subscribers are going to watch this. They're going to view this. And for the ladies out there who are maybe on the fence about moving to Atlanta, you talk about other, these are things that they may want to expect and think about. What are some, fears that you think that a lot of women may have as far as dating in a city as unique as Atlanta. You know what I mean? So, we all, dating is already scary as hell anyway.
Yeah.
Dating can be rough. Many people have success stories, but many people have horror stories. Particularly horror stories that can, change their lives, change the trajectory of their lives completely. And, it's one thing to be cautious, but, there are things that people need to consider.
Yeah.
Particularly people who are brand spanking new, neophyte to Atlanta, don't know their way around, don't know the difference between 85 and 285. Definitely haven't experienced 285 traffic yet. When they're trying to experience the unique dating scene, from your observations of friends, relatives, what are some fears that people have, just from what you've seen, fears that people may have as far as dating in Atlanta?
People not being who they say they is.
Can you expound?
Okay, so like when I was dating, I met this guy, right? For example, who had a nice car. He had a Mercedes Benz, and I was like maybe 18, 19 years old.
Oh, you doing it big.
He had like all these gold chains, and so like when I met him, I'm like, oh yeah, he's like, he told me he was a rapper, like, he was making all this money and whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, like nice, I don't remember nobody like that. But it was his mom's. The car was for his mom. The house was his mom's. Like, the chains, they wasn't real, and
oh, what?
so it kind of was like, wait, you bamboozled me. You told me like you was a rapper, you made all this money, you had this nice car, and you riding through the city in your mom's car, So you have to watch that too. People portraying to be something that they not, and that's just all part of, I guess dating and getting to know somebody first. Is not just going off of what they say. Just because someone say that they own 40, what's it called? I think it's 40 acres and a mule. Doesn't mean that it's true. You can't just jump because they say that. You have to actually sit down and take the time to fill them out and see what's true and what's not. But definitely a big fear is meeting someone that's not who they say they are, or give out a first representation of themselves.
Yeah, no, that's really big, both for men and women.
Yeah.
The person you see, sitting across the dinner table on the first date, that may not be who they are.
Right.
But everyone has a great representative that they send out on that date, and hopefully it will garner the results they're looking for. And then once they get to a certain point, then they may or may not feel comfortable enough to exhale and show their true colors and say, you know what, this is who I really am.
Yeah. I had a girl on Facebook Messenger, because I have a lot of friends that I talk to on Facebook Messenger, and she was like, Kristen, I met this guy, and she worked at the airport, and she was like, we've been dating for 2 years, and come to find out he married, but he spends nights at my house, but we go on dates. How could this be? Like, I never would have thought that. He presented himself as a single man. But she found out he actually is married with children with a wife. So these
the whole
like
package.
So this is another fear you have to watch out is, like you said, the misrepresentation. And if you take the time to really get to know somebody, not just jump on looks and appearance or what they drive or what they say, then these are things that could be filled out immediately before any time is wasted.
So a lot of people perpetrating, you hear all kind of stories perpetrating their marital status. They claim they're single, they're really married, or people claim them to be successful and flexing all kind of gold, and turns out is gold plated, or is faux gold, turning neck green, or driving a car and it's your parents' name. What about men misrepresenting their sexual preferences?
Oh, that's definitely going on a lot.
Like a lot?
Yes. I'm all for the LGBTQ community. But my thing is, when it comes to that, I feel like, that's not okay to misrepresent yourself. I see a lot of videos on TikTok when I'm scrolling through that'll say, you know, when I was with this man, I probably should have told him that I was, you know, trans or, you know. And I feel like when it comes to that situation, you definitely need to say that up front. Because that is another example of misrepresenting yourself. You know, when you're a woman but underneath a man, I think that's something you should say off the bat.
Okay.
Like, hey, you know, you seem like a nice guy, but let me just tell you something about me, and you decide if you're interested in that or not.
Right.
So
giving people a choice.
Giving people a choice. Let them decide before setting them up in those type of situations.
Right. I mean, I think giving people a choice is paramount, no matter. I mean, because even if you're married, you know, give people a choice. Because the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of people out here who will deliberately and knowingly date someone married, but they just want to be, you know, cognizant of it up front. Let them know. That way, give them an opportunity to say, yeah, I'm cool with that, or no, you know, it's not for me, you know, have a nice day.
Yeah.
So, you know, I do agree that, you know, giving someone a choice avoids a lot of BS, a lot of time wasting, and just a lot of, you know, aggravation overall. So that part is very important. I think it's very unfortunate that a lot of people don't see it that way and just believe, you know, look, I'm gonna just, you know, these may be, you know, 1 or 2 or 10 minor details about my life that I don't need to share right now, and then come to find out later on they come out and people are hurt. You
have to lay it all on the line. Our first date, I told him everything. I'm like, look, I don't know who you think I am. I'm a single mother with 2 kids, and I work at Family Dollar. Like, I just came out with it. That way, later down the line, you can't say, well, I didn't know this. I didn't know that. You didn't tell me this. You know, where these kids come from, you know. I feel that on that first day, you have to let it all out. You have to, not open the door to all the skeletons in your closet, but the important things that people need to know about you should be said. Because a lot of people getting hurt behind it. You know, seriously, like a lot of people being killed, they're being hurt, they're getting beat up, they're being set up because people are misleading them. The biggest thing you can never hurt is someone's heart. And when you do that, all bets are sometimes off the table. So it's always better to just be honest and upfront about who you are. And let them decide if that's something they can handle with, whether it's, you know, you being trans or you know, you being a single mother or an entrepreneur. And if you're dating somebody, you know, and you tell them, hey, I want to sell lamps for a living, or I have a business wanting to design lamps. If they don't tell you I support you, I think that's a great idea. What can I do to help you? They're not the ones for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's a great point, because being equally yoked is important. Regardless if you know, into going to church or not, equally yoked, compatible, whatever language you want to use, you know, you have to be, you have to find your match. Yeah.
And that don't mean that you have to, because you're a business owner, have to date somebody that's a business owner equally too. It just means as long as you have that support system in them is what matters.
Indeed. So before we wrap things up, and again, I do want to say thank you so much for honoring me with the opportunity to interview you. Everybody out there, if you are on Facebook, make sure you find the Ringside Private Group. It is a digital community where we go at it, you know, every day, all day, outspoken, over talking, opinionated, 24/7. Just make sure you type in Ringside, request to join the group, and either myself or one of the admins will admit you to it. Before we, you know, we head out, do you want to give a brief description, you know, your social media, your websites, where people can find you, your eyelash business, radio? Let people know, you know, kind of go ahead and plug away. Let people know where they can find you and, you know, how they can support your business.
Well, as far as my eyelashes, I'm 100% sold out.
No more eyelashes.
Yeah, I do wholesale in the States, and so I'm completely sold out. But you can find me at Kristen is a different kind of me Williams on Facebook, as well as Eyelash for Me too on Instagram. And like I said, I interview small business owners on Hits 92.3 Atlanta every Wednesday and Thursday. So if you want to download the app, you can always tune in and listen and get some great knowledge on how to be entrepreneurs. Or you can call me directly at 678-531-9752.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody, this has been Ringside's Corner Confessions. Make sure you like, drop some comments, and most importantly, you subscribe. And by the way, make sure you subscribe. Tell your people about it, and we will see y'all next time.